So the other day I was browsing the internet looking for things to talk about, news stories, topics for discussion I could bring to you guys here on the channel. And I went to the OnePlus Open subreddit and I saw something that in all my years of browsing device specific subreddits, I don't think I had ever seen. We have pinned or stickied to the top of the OnePlus Open subreddit by moderators, or at least by a moderator, a PSA stating, do not buy the OnePlus Open. And if you click on this, what you'll see is that this individual, who is a moderator, is describing the OnePlus Open as buying a lottery ticket. They're stating that it has a higher failure rate compared to similar models, and straight up stating that you should not buy this phone. This was all very, very strong language. And I assumed at first that this is a moderator of this subreddit. So perhaps they have some actual data. Maybe they've done some polling or something like that. But if you scroll through the comments, what you will see is that there appears to be no citation for any sort of data, no polling, anything like that to kind of base this on. My assumption here is that they are basing this off of just what they're reading in the subreddit, sort of anecdotal reports. And then, of course, the fact, I think I can scroll down here, that their device broke and perhaps they had a bad experience as well. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of fill in this data gap. So I went to my own community page and I ran a poll. Have you had any hardware issues with your OnePlus Open? And here are the results. Everything is fine got 71% of the vote. So the vast majority of people, just from that, haven't had any problems with their OnePlus Open. 8% said, yes, they've had a hardware problem, but nothing that required support from OnePlus. So now we're looking at 79% of people are some variation of fine, yes, but OnePlus took care of it. So that's kind of good and bad, right? Something failed that was bad enough that they went to OnePlus's support, which is supposedly a big problem. They're stating 4+ weeks for a repair. OnePlus's ethos seems to be to deny warranty repairs in the first place. Well, 7% of people said, I had a problem, but OnePlus fixed it. 14% said they had a problem, and OnePlus has not been helpful. Now, unfortunately, I can't have 20 different poll options, so there is some vagary there, right? So we don't know if it means 14% is, that's 14% of people that had a full hardware failure and OnePlus is refusing to help them. We don't know if it's 14% of people had a minor problem and OnePlus is refusing to help them. We just know 14% had some kind of problem, and the help they've gotten, they described as being not helpful. And I think we have one good example here from the James MC. So they sent theirs off for repair 12 days ago because it had some dead pixels. They're still waiting on components. So how many people are in that position? How many people are in a worse or better position? There is some inherent vagary here. So again, this is not perfect data, but I guess it's better data than no data. I realized in editing that we had one more good comment here on this from this individual, that their inner screen had some black spots and a bright vertical line. OnePlus Service Shop wanted to charge them 1,000 euros for the repair because of a mechanical failure inside the screen. Something was pushing from inside the screen. Had to contact local OnePlus dudes directly, and magically they said they received updated instructions for the screen warranty. In the end, they took care of it and it was covered by warranty. So that's one of those, like, not optimal, right? Like, that's not how that should happen, but in the end, it was taken care of. So factor that kind of stuff into. Now, I want to make it very clear that I'm not attacking this person. I don't know how you would pronounce that, but this moderator here, I'm not attacking them. I think that they are trying to communicate information that they think is accurate. They're trying to do something that they think this is a good thing that they've done. And it may very well be. My data, I don't think necessarily backs that up. And if I can throw in my own anecdotal, quote unquote, data as someone who's covered foldable phones as much as just about anybody on the planet over the last 3 years, it's not like I'm getting more comments from people who have had broken OnePlus Opens than I did Pixel Folds or Z Folds. They're very similar to one another, and that just seems to be kind of what I expected, right? This tech is not super like in its infancy anymore, super infantile. It just sounds weird for some reason, but you know what I mean. They're all on like, Z Fold 5. The OnePlus Open is a third foldable, and granted the Pixel is a first gen, but it's not internally. They had iterated multiple times before we got the Pixel Fold. They worked on it for years. So I think it's pretty normal to expect the failure rate to perhaps be slightly higher than that of a normal phone, but it's not like it's wildly higher than a normal phone, right? Go to any iPhone subreddit and do a quick search, and you can find dozens of busted iPhones within 2 or 3 days after a new launch, and nobody like loses their mind over that at all. Nobody seems to bat an eye at it, but foldable phones, when they break, people go and they post about it, and there's this perception that they are super duper fragile. And I can understand that if you're a moderator and you're reading these posts and then something happens to you, you could have this perception. But just my opinion, based on the conversations I've had, based on my own commenters, and based on my own polling, I do not think we are quite warranted to make the blanket statement, do not buy this phone. The vast, vast majority of people who have bought it have been just fine, and I am unaware of any actual data at all that indicates that OnePlus's customer service is significantly worse than Google's or Samsung's. Again, you have access to Google. You can find dozens and dozens of people saying that Google and Samsung's customer service has been bad, and you can find just as many saying that it was good, right? I literally know a couple of people who sent a Samsung device in for a trade-in, and it was delivered to their warehouse for the trade-in, and it just went missing, and they were just out that money, right? We can find horror stories from everybody. So again, we just don't have data that makes it clear that there is a significant difference there. And we also don't have data that makes it clear that the OnePlus Open has a higher failure rate, as this individual is stating. So again, not attacking. I'm just adding another perspective here, adding a poll and sort of what I have understood to be reality, so that maybe we can kind of have a more balanced discussion there. And of course, I'll link to this post, and you can scroll through the comments, and there's a lot of potentially good stuff here as well. You're going to see people saying that they agree. You're going to see people saying that they don't agree, and this feels like fear-mongering. You can make your own determination. But again, just wanted to add some additional information. And if you have, your own stories, comment down below. But do me a big favor. Do this instead, because this is what I've noticed is true. This is that negative confirmation bias rearing its head again. The only people that post on Reddit in the comments are people who had a problem. No one goes on Reddit and goes, I am fine. Nothing happened. There's nothing to say, right? So there's no post. Do me a favor. Comment down below how long you've had your OnePlus Open, and if nothing has happened, just say that. I've had my OnePlus Open since launch. Everything's fine. And the point of this is that people that are looking into this device to determine if they should buy it or not, they're not only going to see the negatives, they're going to see that most people have been just fine. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.